Teachers have humiliated Jehovah's Witness children in front of their classmates. Arsonists have burned witnesses' homes. Security forces have raided their meeting halls. Since the Russian Supreme Court on April 20th declared the Jehovah's Witnesses an extremist group, the faith's members have faced increasing harassment from both authorities and suspicious neighbors. And last week, for the first time since the decision, a Jehovah's Witness has been not only detained by police, but also jailed by a judge. He read the Bible. That's why he was arrested, said Yaroslav Sivalsky, a representative of the Jehovah's Witnesses in St. Petersburg. For about a month the witnesses had not felt the full force of the court decision, which calls for the liquidation of the Jehovah's Witnesses organization, not only its Russian headquarters in St. Petersburg, but also the 400 or so kingdom halls where more than 100,000 Jehovah's Witnesses across the nation meet. Yet worship had continued at many of these kingdom halls within the past few weeks. However, intensifying persecution has prompted most congregations to move group worship to private homes, Sivalsky said. Most worrisome to many witnesses are the recent instances in which school teachers, principals and police have turned on children. Officials who are already minded to take action against Jehovah's Witnesses are now emboldened, and ordinary people who have long disliked them are also emboldened, said Felix Corley, a Norway-based religious rights activist who edits the Forum 18 news service, which tracks abuses in the former Soviet Union and Eastern Europe. Sivalsky, speaking from St. Petersburg, tells the story of an 8-year-old girl recently forced by her school principal to sing a patriotic song at school in front of her classmates. Jehovah's Witnesses, a Christian group founded in Pittsburgh in the late 19th century, see themselves as representatives of God's kingdom and remain neutral in politics. They pay taxes but do not recite patriotic pledges, sing nationalistic songs or join the military. Witnesses also report an incident, near Moscow, of another 8-year-old girl, whose parents were brought to her school after she had sung a Jehovah's Witness song and talked about God to classmates. In the presence of the school's psychologist and director of security, the principal handed the parents a document informing them that if this behavior continued, the school would no longer educate the girl. In Bezvodnoy, northeast of Moscow, 2 6th-grade girls were humiliated by a music teacher who defended her actions by noting that Jehovah's Witnesses are banned. She reportedly said to the girl's mother, "You are now extremists and there will be no mercy." The encounter with the music teacher is one of 50 detailed in a May 25th report. The witnesses, whose world headquarters are outside New York, released on harassment against their co-religionists in Russia. The report also describes physical attacks, including one in Belgorod, just north of the Ukrainian border, where the perpetrator shouted "You have been banned" and repeatedly punched a witness in the head, face and upper body, arson, including an incident in Cheshire, in the northwest, where a building used for religious services was destroyed and a Molotov cocktail was found at the scene. Another attack occurred in Lostino, near Moscow, where the home of a witness family burned to the ground. Disruption of religious services, such as one that took place in a private home in Pedlovsky Posad, 42 miles from Moscow. Police officers in plainclothes told witnesses that the court decision meant they could no longer gather and worship. On May 25th, Dennis Christensen was worshiping in another private home, in the city of Oryol, about 185 miles south of Moscow, when 15 armed agents of the FSB, the successor to the KGB, stormed the house and arrested all the men. The men spent the night in jail and were released in the morning. except for Christensen. According to accounts from the witnesses, the judge reportedly considered him a flight risk because of his Danish citizenship. Christensen's alleged crime, membership in an extremist group. He faces 6 to 10 years in prison. Jehovah's Witnesses, with about 8 million followers worldwide, are far from the only religious group harassed in Russia, where President Vladimir Putin has aligned the government with the formerly communist country's dominant religion, Russian Orthodoxy. Hare Krishna, Muslims, members of Falun Gong, atheists and other Christians have also suffered, but only the witnesses have been officially labeled extremists. They sit on a list of groups that includes the Islamic State group and Al-Qaeda. An extremist group in Russia can be defined as one that preaches that its path is the only one that can lead to salvation. Only the Russian Orthodox Church and a select few others may legally make that claim. Corley said that Jehovah's Witnesses will not abandon their faith in the face of increasing persecution and will continue to gather to worship, discuss scripture and educate their children in their beliefs. It will then become a head-to-head between the government and community members as to who's going to hold out the longest, he said. The Supreme Court will hear an appeal against the ban ruling on July 17th.
Hello everyone, welcome to my place. What you just heard is sad. First off, the person who wrote this, calling Jehovah's Witnesses a Christian, and saying that they are being persecuted. I totally disagree with this. True persecution is from the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses. They have the power to stop this punishment between Jehovah's Witnesses and the children. They have the power to shut Jehovah's Witnesses down if they have any compassion, any love toward their members, is to tell them the truth. You are not a religion. You are a cult. The witnesses is being persecuted by their own religion, forcing them to be different and to be hateful and to shun anyone that wants to leave this false religion. What happened to these children is wrong. It is the sins of their parents for not doing any research on this dangerous cult like me and others have done. Why are you afraid, Jehovah's Witnesses, to see the truth? Your persecutor is the one giving you all the information and all the lies, dishonesty in your teachings and your rules, regulations of this dangerous cult. This madness of this religion has to stop. It has to be liquidated, destroy the foundation of those 7 men you call the governing body, what we call the evil slave class, who beat their slaves, who put pressure upon Jehovah's Witnesses. And many of them has committed suicide, been on medication, drugs, drinking, because they can't handle the pressure of being bullied by the elders, circuit overseer, and the governing body. If you love your children, then test your faith. Open the doors of true knowledge and wisdom and get the hell out of Watchtower's lies. You call me apostate for leaving your false religion. That is a good thing. I will carry that name with honor, with love, compassion, sincerity. That is what apostate is. People who left the false teaching, who come to Christ, and not to a false god named Jehovah. I am here to help you. With all my research, all my videos I have done, is to educate people and educate Jehovah's Witnesses to get out of Watchtower's teaching. You don't need to waste no more hours in your field service. You don't need to count your time and sitting in those boring kingdom halls and hear lies every single week, every single weekend. And that's what they are, nothing but lies. To help you to walk that road that Christ warns us not to go into, because many will lose their way, and that road will take you to eternal death. People, we are helping people to educate themselves, to even check their own religion, so you can understand why we make these videos. I am not a perfect person, and I'm not going to claim to be. But I don't have almost 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses upon my shoulders and my heart like the governing body has. They're the ones going to have to answer to Christ. They're the ones that's probably going to be hide in their bunkers deep underground, thinking that maybe, just maybe, their false god Jehovah will protect them from Christ when he comes. But the Bible predicts that their God Jehovah will be locked up into abyss for 1,000 years. And when he gets loose, he's going to try again to corrupt the world. Of course, we're talking about Satan the devil. And he will be disappear off planet Earth forever. And any false religion before that time and now has a chance for their members to wake up, to get out before it's too late. Time is running out. Are you sure you did all the right research, all the things that you need to know over 100%? Are you safe in your religion? I thought I was, till I started seeing things that made no sense. Things that I remember that was put back in my mind made no sense. Thanks for the internet, I was able to look up a lot of stuff. And yes, I had a fear that Jehovah was going to strike me with a bolt of lightning for looking up ex-Jehovah Witnesses on the internet. And boy, that was the best thing in my life. I have more freedom and more to turn hate into love. I don't hate Jehovah Witnesses. I just hate their ways, their ignorance, their compassion of serving a false God and dedicate themselves to a false religion. I just hate that. Because some of them I know is really good-hearted people just being misguided, misled by these evil men. And when your children is being persecuted by their parents, by their religion, by the governing body, just like we were when we was kids in school. Different can be good in some ways, but when it destroys a lot of a child, when it don't have to be pushed to a stream to force people to do things that in your original teaching when you was Bible students, the teachings was better than what you got now. But still, Bible students are still evil, but they're not extreme what they are now with Jehovah's Witnesses. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave your comments and educate yourself, because you only got you. If you don't care about yourself, then you can be in any religion you want. You can be highest in that religion you want. Because if you don't love God and Christ, you can join any religion. That wouldn't make no sense. Giving up on life. So y'all have a nice weekend, and I'll see you another time. Bye bye.